I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul. Freeze! Freeze thy young blood. Make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks to part, and each particular hair to stand up on end like quills upon the fretful porcupine. But to this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love. All right.
This is a monologue of the father's ghost from Hamlet by Shakespeare. So to start off, the speaker in this situation is, or in this monologue, is Hamlet's father's ghost. Hamlet's father's ghost is speaking to the audience, which is Hamlet, essentially asking him to seek revenge on the person that killed him. He's explaining to Hamlet that he is seeking revenge and he is doomed to be in this eternal state where he can't really ascend to the afterlife because he is still dealing with this revenge and this need to kill the person that killed him. But since he's dead, as a ghost, he's speaking out to his son, telling him that he needs to do this for him. And at the end, he explains that if he ever loved his father, basically kind of guilting him into taking on his wish. And he goes about this through a sort of persuasion and explaining how awful it is to be locked up in this need to seek revenge. And he says, would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks to part, and each particular hair stand on end like quills upon the fretful porcupine. He doesn't explain to his son exactly what happened, but he emphasizes the atrocities and how much it would frighten and anger his son to the point where his eyes would knot and his hair would stand up. And this imagery kind of portrays the horrific nature of his father's situation by persuasion, and just this imagery helps to make his son understand just how awful his situation is and how much he needs to do this for him. But he explains, he can't hear all of the awful things that happened, but you must trust me. If you love me, you will do this for me. It starts off with kind of a foreboding tone, it kind of gets to just he slowly gets to his point, and he uses a lot of persuasion in talking to his son. And then right at the end, there's a tone shift where it says, but this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever love thy father, or ever thy dear father love. He gets to the point very quickly, and he says, you must do this if you love me. He uses a lot of different devices, specifically apostrophe, kind of as an indirect way of speaking to his son. Thy, thou. All of those are examples of apostrophe use in this situation. He also uses a lot of imagery when he's explaining the horrific nature of the situation, and like I said before.